Okay, so you may be wondering, where's Kalos? Why are we on Hawlucha already? We didn't do Kalos yet. So I did actually do Kalos, but it turns out when I was recording it, my mic wasn't on. So now I'm re-recording it, but I also couldn't be bothered to go back and take everything out of the tier list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the entire gen, but rather than having to drag and drop each time, I'm just going to talk you through where I already placed it on this list, to save us some much needed time. So first of all, Chespin, I think I gave it a B tier. Yes, I did. So I think the Chespin's quite cute. I like its kind of very happy-go-lucky kind of design. I like the quills it has as well. It's based on like a chestnut, which is an interesting design choice. And for all the starters in this gen, I like the RPG classes. Like you've got the paladin, you've got the mage, you've got the rogue. I think that's a really cool concept to work with, and I think that the Chespin line does a good job of exemplifying its aspect. I rated Quilladin a little bit lower. I think it was in the C tier. Oh, maybe not. What did I put? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, Quilladin. So I gave it a C tier because I think that its rounded design doesn't work quite as well. I don't really like its tail as much. It's very pointy, and which I guess works with the rest of the design, but still, it's just a bit random. But Chestnut I gave a B tier again, because it, again, it leads into the kind of paladin class well. It's a big, bulky design, the big spikes are very menacing. So yeah, Fennekin, again, B tier. I think that a lot of people rate this higher. I find it cute, but I don't think it's that cute. Same thing with Breakson, it's just kind of, it's a cool first, second stage. But then Delphox, I like a lot more. So Delphox is A tier, because one, psychic types I used to really like. They used to be my favourite type, so that bumps up a little automatically. Two, I love the kind of flames coming out of its ears. Those are quite cool. Also just the flame torch as a wand. That's really nice. And the long kind of billowy dress thing that it's got. That's cool. It's very witchy, which is a similar reason to why I like the Miss Magius and stuff like that. So yeah, this is definitely an A tier. Froakie, I think I actually gave an A tier as well. I like its kind of quiet nature. Obviously it doesn't always have quiet as a nature, that's a different thing, but you get what I mean. It's a lot more serious than other unevolved starters, which I quite like. And the colour scheme's nice as well. I like how it's got this kind of neon blue, which is quite different from the pale blue that they used to use in earlier gens. And it's kind of got this very bubbly nature as well, which is nice. Frogadier, I think I gave a C tier. I think it's okay. I don't love it, but I do like the colour palette a bit more than Froakie. I like the darker blue hair, it's got that ninja kind of vibe. But I still think it's a little basic. It doesn't really expand massively on the base form, but I guess just a fairly standard second stage starter. Greninja I gave a B tier. I feel like sometimes Greninja's a bit overrated. The ninja aesthetic is cool, but it kind of, I don't know, it overdoes it a little, I think. I don't really like the tongue as well. I think the tongue is a bit weird, how it just has it sticking out all the time, but overall it's a fairly cool design. I like its head shape, that's quite cool. It's cool how they turned a frog into something as dynamic as this as well. Ash Greninja, although I like the concept, I think that Greninja isn't really special enough to have its own mega, not mega thing. I would have liked it more if they just gave it a mega and gave the other two starters megas as well. I think would have been a better way to handle it, but it's okay, it's not bad. But yeah, so the starters for this gen are quite solid. But they're not my favourite starter trio, but they're all right. Bunnelby, I think I gave Bunnelby a B tier. Because I like it does a bit more than the most first route kind of starters, I think. The ear hands are cool. The colour palette of grey and brown, although basic, it does give it that earthy look that it needs. both Bartleby and Diggersby have this very like rough design that I like. It gives them a lot more character than a lot of early root normal types. But yeah, it's a solid design, I think. Where did I put? I think I put Scatterbug and Speedbird here, yeah, in C tier. They're okay. I like kind of like a square, like pixely almost look that it has. It's not like astoundingly different to most other basic bugs, but it's got some charm. Not enough to bring it up to beta though. Then Vivillon, I think I did give a beta, yeah, over here, because I like its. I think the square like pixel design works a little bit better with the butterfly, like how all the patterns on its wings also follow that square design. I also love the different forms it has. I didn't rate them all separately, obviously, but they're all down here. And they really just give a lot more character to the Pokemon. And then, what's next? Litleo. Litleo, I think I gave a C tier. Same with Pyroar. Although they're okay, like, visually, I kind of wish they did a bit more with the Lion Pokemon. Because, like, there aren't many Lion Pokemon, I think it's just this and Solgaleo. So I would have liked a little more going on. Fire Normal is obviously a unique typing, which is nice-ish. Yeah, it's just okay, not amazing, but it's solid. Flabebe, I think I gave this, yeah, I gave this whole line a beta. I like the flower garden aesthetic. It leans very, very heavily into that, but it works, I think. It starts off very, like, childlike, and then it gets, like, more mature with Florges, which I like. I like the full garden aesthetic that Florges has as well. Like, it's got the, like, various types of flowers, and it's, I don't know what hair, like, wreath thing that's got around its head. Yeah, I really like this. I like the different colour gimmick that it has, similar to Vivillon. I think that's quite cool. Skiddo and Go-Goat I gave a C tier. They're okay, they're just kind of regular goats. Skiddo is quite cute, and Go-Goat is more serious. They're fairly standard, like 2-stage Pokemon, I think. But yeah, they're alright. Pancham and Pangoro, though, I gave an A tier. I love these two. I love the kind of like henchman, like boss kind of relationship they have. Pancham's more like happy-go-lucky and kind of... It's got like a small leaf in its mouth and it's trying to be serious, but it's still cute. Then Pangoro has this more like intimidating aesthetic. Like the fur that it has around its body kind of looks like a cloak or like a coat or something, which is really cool. But it's still got this like very rounded design that makes it look a bit more lovable. And I just really like how they made this look intimidating but not overly intimidating. I like it a lot. Furfrou, I think I gave a B tier, I think. I actually really like the wild poodle aesthetic that it's got. Like rather than going for like the proper trimmed kind of design, which they did do, obviously, with the alternate forms, but with the base form, they stuck with the like very messy, scruffy nature that you wouldn't expect from a poodle. But it's nice to see that sometimes. And yeah, I like it. It does something different. Esper, I also gave a beta because I like its colours. That's mostly it, to be honest. I like the lavender, like lilac-y kind of purple grey thing they've got. It's just a very cute, like, looks kind of dumbfounded all the time, which I like. Yeah, not much else to say about that. Meowstic, I think I gave a C tier. I would have liked it more if they stuck with the purple, if I'm honest. The blue does give it a much more striking design, but I like the kind of subtle, almost like mysterious nature that Esper has. But it's okay, it's solid. It's not super remarkable, it's just a psychic cat. Honedge, I think I gave an A tier. I love Honedge. It's one of, like, I don't really get the hate around, like, the object mons, like, Pokemon that are just objects. Because they usually do more than just that. They, like with Honedge, like, its whole thing is that it sucks up away your life force if you hold the hilt, because of the cloth, which is really cool. It's just got this very, like, ancient kind of design that makes it look like an old artifact or something like that. Doublade, I gave a beta just because it's doesn't really do much interesting stuff with the base form. Like the purple tassels are cool. I do like the colours bit more, but they really did just add another sword on top of the other one, which is like fine. It's just not super remarkable. But then Aegislash is an S tier. I love Aegislash. I love the kind of like regal design it has. The thing on its hilt almost looks like a crown, and the shield, and I just love it. And I like how they brought back the purple from Doubleblade rather than going back to the blue from Honedge. It's just got this very intimidating kind of like king warrior thing going on. It's very cool. I like it. Spritzy and Aromatisse I gave a beta. I really like these actually. After looking at them a bit more, I came to appreciate them more. The Plague Doctor aesthetic goes really nicely with the kind of like cuter colour palette. It's got that juxtaposition that's quite nice. Especially in Aromatisse, I like the darker pink, I like the horns. It's got that weird mix of kind of cute and almost like, not intimidating, but cute and almost dangerous looking aesthetic that creates for like a really nice and well-rounded Pokemon, I think. Swirlix and Slurpuff, I think I just gave C tiers. They're okay. They're not super remarkable. I like the Candy Floss kind of aesthetic, but I don't really like the dead eyes. I kind of give it like a blank expression that I think we could have given it a bit more character, I think. It's like the pale pink, like, and white. It's alright. It's just not anything super remarkable, I think. It's not a bad design, it's just an okay one. Inkay, I really like Inkay. I love the colours, I like the blue and the pink. I love how it kind of looks like a kid, almost. Like I like the big hat that it has, and the big eyes. It makes it look very innocent, which is obviously flipped on its head, quite literally, with Malamar, which is an A tier. Because I love the alien overlord aesthetic they give it, which is a complete contrast from Inkay, and it really fits the dark psychic typing more. Also, the gimmick of it being flipped around is really weird, but it works so well. Like the hair that used to be its tentacles, and the body that used to be like its head hat thingy. But yeah, this is a really interesting design, I think. It's just one of those designs where they gave it a random gimmick that, for no real reason, they just decided to give it that, and it's cool. I like it for it. Binacle. This is the only E tier of this gem, and the only thing below a C actually. I just don't like this Pokemon much. I think it's alright. It's not alright. I don't like it. I don't like the rock. I don't like how it's just idly sticking out of this rock that just stays put. I don't like the weird hands. I don't like the colour scheme. It's just not a nice design to look at, if I'm honest. I wish they'd done more with it. Barbracle, it did get a bit higher. I think I gave it a C. Did I not give it a C? I thought I gave it a C. No, I did, yeah, a C. Because I like how they made it more intimidating. The 6 limbs definitely give it that almost like Machamp vibe, where it's very big and strong and just beefy, which I like. I also like how they made the rock less like idle part of the design, like now it forms the body instead. So rather than just sitting there on a rock all day, it now can actually move and get up, which is nice. I like how they also kept the head as like a hand. But it's still not an amazing design, I still don't love it. But it's definitely a big improvement from Binacle. Skrelp, I love Skrelp. I think I put this in A tier. Yeah, it definitely deserves it. I love the, well, Leafy Sea Dragons, what it's based on, is my favourite animal. So it's nice to see a Pokemon based on that. And I like I think it's poison water, which obviously makes sense. Actually, the poison part is interesting. I like how they brought that in as well. But the colour scheme's nice. I like the purple, I like the little bits of pink. I like the kind of like transparent blue that it contrasts with. It's a really nice design. Then Dragalge is one of my favourites. I love how they made this like very classic draconic silhouette, like with a long body, into a design that you wouldn't expect to necessarily be a dragon type. But it makes sense since it is based on a Leafy Sea Dragon, which obviously isn't a real dragon, but it's still named after that. So it's nice to see them take that part of the design more literally. I like it when they do that and kind of make puns based on the name of the actual animal. It's just also such a cool design. Like, the head is really cool, has got this kind of like striking red and blue bits of kelp sticking out of its head. It's just such a nice design to look at. It really deserves more appreciation. It's really underlooked. I say underlooked all the time. It's overlooked. I stop saying that. Clawitzer, I think I gave a B tier. I like this design. I like the neon blue rather than the pale blue they used to do. I also like shrimp. I think they're cool. And the whole like handgun thing that gets is a really weird concept, but it's so cool. And I think it really comes through with Clawitzer, which I actually gave an S tier, which I wasn't expecting to do. But I love this design. I think it should have been dragon type. So it does have like dragon motifs, like the big like kind of mouth that the launcher forms, as well as the fact that it learns Dragon Pulse. It makes sense, but it's fine that it doesn't have dragon type as well. I like it all nonetheless. I love the kind of like antennae sticking out of its launcher. I think that's cool. I love how the ratio of the launcher size to the body size is just massively disproportionate. I love when they like enhance specific areas of design like that and leave the rest how it was. But yeah, this is just such a cool looking Pokemon. Like, the name is cool as well, like Claw plus Howitzer. Yeah, I love this design so much. I wasn't actually going to give it a B tier. I was going to give it an A tier, I mean, until I looked at it a bit more, and I was like, yeah, Sinister. Helioptile, I think I gave a B tier. Electric Normal is obviously unique typing, so it's nice when they do that, when they give a completely unique typing to a random Pokemon. The body of this is a bit weird. It doesn't really look that lizard-like. The head is quite big compared to the body, which isn't a very lizard thing to do. But yeah, I like it. I like its solar whole gimmick. I think it's cool. I think, Heliolisk got an A tier. Like I was saying before, I love the solar aesthetic, and I like the colour palette of this one even more. Like, I like how they enhance the black. And also, like, the kind of... I always say draconic looking Pokemon. It's not, it's just a lizard. But I like dragon type, so I want to make everything dragon type. But obviously that bumps up a little. And also, I like frilled lizards. So this is a nice, almost a bit niche design inspiration, but it's nice to see. I think frilled lizards are cool. So yeah, this is a very nice design. Tyrant, I gave a Tyrant and Tyrantrum, I both gave C tier. They're okay designs. They're just not super remarkable. Like a lot of the other fossil Pokemon, they're kind of just like, there, this is a dinosaur, not much else to it. I like the kind of like old like aesthetic that Tyrantrum has, like the grey beard and stuff makes it look very aged. But the yellow part on its head almost looks like a crown, so it makes it look quite regal, which makes sense for T-Rex. The Rex meaning king. Yeah, it's cool. I don't love it, but it's actually, I'll move it up to beta. I think this is the only tier list change that'll happen this video, but yeah, I'll move it up to beta. It's decent. Amora though, I gave it a beta, yeah. These are my favourite fossils, Amora and Aurorus. Actually, they're not. There's one that I like more. We'll get to that in Gen 8. But I love the kind of like ethereal ice type vibe that it has. I like when they do the ice types. And it's a weird direction to take a dinosaur, I think, but I like it a lot. It's always based on the Northern Lights, so that's why it has that kind of like wispy design. Yes, it's a very nice looking Pokemon. Sylveon, I think I also put in beta? Yeah, that's here. I like it a lot more than the other evolutions. It's got like a much busier design, which is nice to see, because some of the other evolutions, like here with the original 3, they're very bland and kind of simplistic, but I like this one with the tassels and the colour palette, which has a bit more going on. It's just a very visually appealing design. It's still not my favourite evolution, but it's closer. So yeah, this is solid beta, I think. Hawlucha, I think I gave that a C tier. It's okay. The inspiration is obviously interesting, like it's got the kind of like fighter with the hawk, which is an interesting design to use. The colour palette I'm not a massive fan of. I don't really like the white, green, red thingy. It's not like horrendous, it's just okay. I wish I had done a bit more with it, like an evolution or a mega or something like that. But it's not hideous, it's just okay. Dedenne, I think I gave this a beta. It's one of my preferred Pika clones. It's not my favourite Pika clone, but it's up there. I particularly like the little, you can't really see it much here, but it's got like plus and minus whiskers, which is a nice little detail. I didn't really notice when I was making the video originally. And I like its big ears. It's just got a very round design, which I like to see. It's very cute. Carbink, I think I put it in the same tier. It's an interesting design. It's similarly to Aurora's, it's got this very like ethereal design, which I think is enhanced by the pale colours as well. Like almost pastel aesthetic. Not quite, but almost. But yeah, I like it. I think there should be more like crystal Pokemon. It's a cool direction to take the rock type, though I don't see often. It's a solid beta. The whole Gumi line, I put in S tier. I love these. These are my second favourite pseudo legendaries, only behind one, which we'll get to later. Yeah, I just love these guys. They're so gooey, and it's so interesting they managed to make a snail and like slug Pokemon into a pseudo legendary and a dragon type nonetheless. Like, it's such a weird and wonderful way to take the dragon type, I think. And this is like, I just love this genre of dragon types where it's just like random thing made into a dragon. Same thing with Dragalge. That's why I like it so much. Yeah, I just love this whole evolution line. Like, I like the Hisuian ones as well, how it gets the proper steel snail shell. I love those guys. Klefki I put in beta, I think. Yeah, I like it when they make Pokemon out of random objects like this. Like, they're clearly just looking at a key ring and they were like, yeah, I can make a design out of this. And they did. I think they should make more designs like this, honestly, where it's just a random thing. But I think it pulls off the key aesthetic very well. I like the ring. I like how the ring's kind of like malleable as well, it's not fixed in place. It gives it a bit more character. Yeah, it's solid. There's not much to say about it, it's just a cool and unique design. Phantom, I gave this beta as well. Because I like the kind of like lost child thing it has going on. Like, it's obviously very small, and it looks quite mournful as well. It's got a very sad expression. Yeah, it's very spooky in a way that I like. Trevenant though, Trevenant got an A tier. I love this design. I love how they managed to make a tree into something so menacing and intimidating like this. You don't really see it often. It's nice. There aren't a lot of tree Pokemon, to be honest. Actually, there are quite a few, but this is one of the better ones. I just love it almost like a crown on its head. It's not, but it almost looks like it. It gives it the kind of like protector of the forest look. Yeah, I love it. I love how it's also not like a mean Pokemon necessarily. Like, it's a very caring and nurturing one. The spider legs are a really weird choice, but they're quite cool as well. Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo? Yeah, Pumpkaboo. I gave this a beta. I like it. It's simple. Pumpkin, Halloween, spooky, grass ghost, makes sense. I like how they didn't make the face the pumpkin's face. I think that would be a bit too simple. I like how they made it this like leafy kind of tuft on its head instead. Yeah, it's a really nice design. Gorgeist I gave an A tier, because I like the way it builds on that. Like, it's got that kind of witchy aesthetic again, similar to Dullfox and Mismagius that I was talking about earlier. Like, it's definitely got that spooky vibe. Yeah, I like this. It makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't do this beforehand. A spooky pumpkin Pokemon form, Halloween. It's nice. Bergmite is somewhere down here. I think it was C tier, yeah. it's kind of just an ice shard. There's not much to say about this. I think this is one of the weaker Gen 6 designs just because there's not much going on here. Same with Avalugg, although Avalugg does have a bit more going on. It's kind of got like aircraft carrier design, where it like carries all the bird on its back so they can jump off, which is interesting. In its Hisuian form, they don't really do much to it, to be honest. They made it like a snow plow thingy, which is, I guess, kind of an interesting design to take it, but not super unique. Rock is a pretty obvious second typing to give Avalugg. It's just not super interesting. Same with the base form, it's just kind of there. It's just a big block of ice and rock in this uniform's case. It's okay. It's okay. It's not amazing. Noibat I gave Noibat and Noivern an S tier. I love these Pokemon. These were some of the first Pokemon I ever saw, like when I was first getting into the series, and they've really stuck with me. I love the purple. I love how Noibat's got this the focus is clearly on the ears with Noibat. There is a lot of the swings, which is quite funny. It's got this very cute, like, bat dragon thing. I don't really know how to describe it, I just really like this. Same with Noivern, I love how the green becomes like a little highlight colour. The kind of like white bit of fur gives it that... I'm not quite sure what it gives it, to be honest, but it's very cool addition. It's almost like spiky fur as well, which makes it more angular and dynamic. I also just love wyverns. It's just always nice to see a Pokemon that's based on one. I think Reshiram is also almost wyvernish. I don't think that's a main inspiration though. But yeah, it is almost wyvernish. Xerneas, I think, yes, beta. Xerneas and Yveltal. I really like this duo. The colours are very obviously contrasting. And I think they're based on Norse mythology. I know that Xerneas is based on Yggdrasil, Tree of Life. I don't know what Yveltal is based on. I think it's based on like the bird that flies around Yggdrasil. I'm not familiar with Norse mythology though. But it's still a cool design nonetheless. I love how they interweave the aspects of life and death rather than just making them like complete opposites. Like they're not enemies, which I think would have been a bit too obvious a route to take it, and I'm glad they didn't go that way, like in a kind of like Groudon Kyogre way. But yeah, it's very cool duo. I like it a lot. Zygarde, I think, yeah, I gave them both I didn't include the 10% form because it's kind of irrelevant. But these two are both in A tier. I love how the hexagonal design, like it's very tile based, and you can really tell they're made up of multiple cells as well, which is always nice. The green and black aesthetic is nice as well, and I like how they added a bit of red in Zygarde's case to make it look a bit more dangerous. And I like how in both of them there's kind of regal design. Like with 50%, it's got this almost crown throne thingy behind its head, which fits well with the Cobra aesthetic. And with the complete form, it's really hard to see, but I think on its head there is there are a few spikes which look a bit crown-like. But yeah, it's just a really intimidating and very clearly powerful Pokemon. This whole thing of like bringing retribution for nature and stuff like that is cool. And yeah, I like it a lot. It's one of my preferred third legendaries. Diancie, I think I gave base Diancie a B tier and Mega an A tier. Base Diancie I like. Again, same with Carbink, I like the crystalline Pokemon. I think it's a cool direction to take the rock type. I like the princess aesthetic as well. I like how it's juxtaposed with the like sharp, rocky aesthetic. And it's always nice to see this like that juxtaposition of kind of themes in design. It makes it a lot more interesting. And for the Mega, I really like the tassels that flow from it and kind of like the little crystals that drop from its body. It's got that, it really helps to give it that almost like, I'm not sure how to describe it, that more like delicate kind of effect. But still, it still looks powerful. It's nice and symmetrical as well, which is always nice. Yeah, I really like how they blended the princess aesthetic with the rocky aesthetic. It's very nice. Hooper, I think I gave the base form a C tier. it's okay. The whole ring concept is interesting, I guess. It's not really expanded upon much. I didn't actually see Hooper's movie, although I think I did, but I don't remember it, so I might be wrong with that. But I think in its base form, it does the job of being like a kind of like mischievous genie that isn't very intimidating, but then gets upgraded to the much more intimidating and much cooler, in my opinion, Hooper Unbound. The Unbound, I like the kind of promotion of this very dark, deep pink-purple kind of colour for the hair and bits of the body. It makes it look a lot more dangerous. I like the tail as well. That's a weird addition, but it's very nice. The many hands give it a much more dangerous feel to it, I guess. But it's still not a super interesting design, I don't think. I think they could have expanded a bit more on it for a mythical. But it's definitely not my least favourite mythical. But it's not my favourite either. Volcanion, I always forget this exists. It's a very out-of-place Pokemon, in my opinion. Water, fire is obviously unique typing, so that's kind of cool. But the design is just weird. I'm not sure what inspires it. And I'm just really not sure why this is here, if I'm honest. It's not a detail, because I don't dislike it, it's just really confusing to me. And I don't really understand what it's meant to be doing. But yeah, that's this very weird version of my Kalos tier list, because I obviously couldn't record it whilst I was putting this list together. But next up we have Alola, and Alola is going to be, I think, the most S tiers out of any gen, because this is my favourite gen by far. And yeah, I love the games, I love the anime, I love everything about Gen 7. This is the gen that got me into the series, so I'm excited to make a tier list of it. So until then, that'll be all for now.